Hello, Malik Carrington here, Family Budget Fisherman. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. I wanted to share with you an exciting purchase I made. And if you read in the description of this, the thumbnail description of this video and the description below it, you will know that I'm talking about this, another one of the million or so rod and reels that are produced by 13 Fishing. This happens to be called the Fate Creed FT, the 13 Fishing Fate Creed FT combination. Now this rod represents several firsts for me. The first is that, excuse me. The first is that it is the very first rod that I've ever purchased where I looked for the rod and the manufacturer along with the retailer paired the rod with their desired reel. And I'm typically very picky as to how I combine my rods and my reels, but this one I took advantage of it for several reasons. Obviously, the first one, again, looking at the description of this video, this is a representation of a beginner series rod that I would recommend someone to purchase if they were taking fishing seriously. Is this the only one? Of course not. This is not the only one, but this is one of the many that are very accessible. And it is a rod that I would use today if I wanted to do the type of fishing that I would do with other beginners. And I would hand them this rod and recommend that they use this rod. This is a 7'1" medium action rod, and it's a beautiful rod. The specs on it is 3/16 on the low end for the lure rating, 5/8 on the upper end. The line rating is 6 pounds to 12 pounds, which is pretty good. And again, it's 7'1". It's a medium action. And watch this. Try to do this with other budget rods and rod combos. Now I'm pulling. Now this is bending at the top 30 to 35%. It's a fast action rod. But I want you to see something here. I am stressing this rod right now. I want you to notice, do you see any twist of the line guides? Not one. Not one is out of place. Not one. Which tells me that even though this 24-ton Toray Graphite rod is at the budget level, that there was a certain attention to detail that prevents this rod from twisting, which means even this rod will be able to cast pretty doggone good. So the only challenges it's going to have, and this is a problem even for the Defy series, some of you have pointed it out in the comments regarding the Defy series rod, is the line guide is a bit too narrow. And that's, that notwithstanding, I'm just telling you that for a budget rod, this is doing pretty good. It has the zirconium inserts, guides. It's aluminum and zirconium for the inserts. I would be concerned about that if I were throwing braid, but I'm not. This will only have monofilament, and I'll show you the monofilament momentarily. Here's some other things I want you to see. Now I know this still has the tag on it, but I just want you to see this. Look at this. This thing balances pretty doggone well for a budget rod. This is a pretty good pairing. It has the hook keeper is where it should be for a rod, not down here or over here or right here, right where it should be. And I can appreciate that. Also, the split handle that you see right here, that split handle is nice. Look at that. It's nice. It's wide enough. But even if you are a kayaker, the butt of this is not so long that it becomes an obstruction. 13 Fishing actually built their omens. They have a kayak series, and you could see where they made the butt of the rod shorter for the kayak fishermen than they do for other fishermen who purchased this, who purchased the Omen Black 3 series rod, which in my opinion is a beautiful rod all its own. Once again, I think they really need to upgrade those guides, but the rod itself is a beast. Now, also, I don't know how much the rod combo weighs, but it's very light. I can tell you that right now. It's a very light combo. Again, the aesthetics on it, it's beautiful. This is something that I would like for the Defy series to look like in terms of aesthetics for a rod on its own. Now, the Defy may be a better built rod than this, but this looks good by any means. The reel seats nicely. You know, there's no stress over that. Doesn't move. The reel is a good reel. This is also a Creed FT 3000. It's not the Creed that sells separately, but the Creed FT. Now they do have the same. 5:1 to 1 gear ratio as the regular Creed. Well, I shouldn't say the regular, but the Creed non-FT. This is the Creed FT. They have the same gear ratio of the reels. This is a 3000, or for comparison, there are some of you who have a 30, like the Revo X30 over here, or a 300. That's all typically the same size reel. And I think it's going to hold a good amount of this 8-pound Field & Stream monofilament. Now, there are those of you who might say, that's crazy. You're going to use, the private label of Dick's Sporting Goods? Yeah, I'm going to use it. Number one, Field & Stream has always been a pretty good name brand in the past. There are others that have surpassed it, but it's been a good brand. Also, this particular mono I have already used, so I know that it is reliable for these purposes. And the 8-pound test right here, the diameter of this line here is similar. The diameter structure is very similar to Stren Magnathin, where Stren Magnathin touts that for the break strength, it is a thinner diameter monofilament than its competitors. This runs in that same class category. And I don't know why, I just know that it does because I've done the comparison. And like I said, I've been using it and I like it. It does what it is supposed to do. So once again, this represents a really, really good representation of what I would describe as a good beginner combo. Now, what did I pay for this? Now, y'all know me. You know this channel. You're acquainted with how I budget. So I happen to have had $50 in rewards cash that I earned from other purchases and following the rewards plan that's on the Dick's Sporting Goods app. And I would recommend each and every one of you, even if you don't shop at Dick's Sporting Goods quite often, I recommend that you download that app. And I earned $50. Plus, I had, and you all have heard me talk about Save Around books. My wife and I have been purchasing these since our children were in grade school, and they're three of them are already the third one's just about out of college, and the fourth one, she's on her way to her junior year. So it's been a long time since we've been buying these, and we buy them every year. This one we bought at the nationwide level. We didn't buy a city-specific one, although for many of your cities, you could get some of them that go down that deep. And as you can see, it has coupons that can be stacked with their rewards cash, not their other coupons, but their rewards cash. So in this particular case, I have $50. Then I have other books. I got about 6 of these books around the house. So I tore out this one right here. And I had the $50 plus the rewards cash plus the $15 coupon. And my balance that I paid to Dick's Sporting Goods was $15 for this rod combination. I would recommend this to anyone, even if you didn't have the $50. Like I said, you could earn on the reward side, you can earn between $10 every 30 days or every 60 days. Guaranteed by 60 days, you'll have a $10 rewards cash. So even if you didn't get the rewards cash in the first 30, you would get it within 60 days, and you'd have that $10 plus the $15 coupon in this case. That would be $25 off. So $25 off of an $80 rod is still a really good bargain. We're talking about $55 for this rod and reel combination, which is less than the $60 for the Defy Series rod. So just think in those terms. So I want to once again recommend this rod to any person who is serious about getting out there and learning whether or not fishing is something that they would endeavor as a passion in the future. I just think these are lovely rods. Now, there are those of you who have challenges with 13 fishing. I understand that. I happen to not be one of them. I really like their products. Now, there are some challenges that, and you're going to hear me discuss that. If there are some challenges, these are my first impressions of this rod here. If there are some challenges, I will let you know. Just like I'm going to let you know with the Defy Series rod, and I have about 6 hours already in the bag. Like I said, when I put 20 hours into a rod, I put 20 hours of me actually casting and retrieving and catching fish, not it being on the deck of a boat or sitting next to me on the shoreline as I'm fishing. It's 20 hours with this in hand. So once again, I'm going to, until that 20 hours is up, and maybe even more, when I go fishing with this rod, it's just with this rod, or this rod and the Defy Series rod, until I can get the 20 hours up on that one as well. So look forward to me sharing with you my thoughts about this rod in a later video. And I will let you know whether or not this was worth the purchase or not. So once again, don't let anyone at any time, at any place, talk you into purchasing this rod or any other rod or reel or tackle or whatever related to fishing that breaks your family's budget. But by the same token, within your family's budget, within the law and good ethics, get out there and break your personal best. I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to talking again in the next video. Take care.